It's time for the annual EHA's Top 25. I'll be ranking the top 25 college football teams for the 2011 season. I'll be breaking down the top 25 teams into 5 segments. Segments 1 will be teams 21 to 25. And starting things off is number 25, the TCU Horned Frogs. This is TCU's last year in the Mountain West Conference before they head off to the Big East Conference in hopes to gain more national attention and, more importantly, more national respect. They start off the year with a tough game, a rematch at Baylor. Baylor looks to be a very good team from the Big 12, and it is also their first and last conference meeting against Boise State. They travel to Idaho to take on the Broncos in a rematch from their Fiesta Bowl Classic. They have to rebuild the nation's top defense from 2010. They only return 4 starters, but one of those 4 starters is their best player, linebacker Tank Carter. Their biggest void will be trying to find a replacement for quarterback Andy Dalton. Number 24 is the West Virginia Mountaineers from the Big East Conference. The Mountaineers' offense was bad in 2010. Much of that had to do with the lack of quarterback experience. But in 2011, quarterback Geno Smith returns with a full year under his belt to run the Trey offense installed by former Oklahoma State offensive coordinator Dana Holgorsen. Smith has looked very impressive running the Trey offense, and during the spring game, they accumulated over 800 yards of offense. The Trey will make it easier for Smith to read the defenses since they have to respect all 3 running backs in the backfield. Smith has high expectations and has looked very good in this new Trey offense. The defense was their strength in 2010, but they may struggle in 2011 since only 4 starters return from the nation's number 3 overall scoring defense. They have a big game and a rematch against LSU. This time it's at home. They look to earn themselves as well as the Big East Conference a lot of national respect. Number 23, the Florida Gators from the Southeastern Conference. 2011 looks to be a continuance of the rebuilding era for Florida. Will Muschamp takes over for the departed Urban Meyer as a new head coach, so it may take a season or 2 for the team to fully adjust. John Brantley took over as the team's quarterback in the first post-Tebow season. Brantley is more of a pocket passer and didn't seem very comfortable in the system. In fact, the entire offense needs to find themselves a comfort zone. At times they did seem comfortable, but that was when they got the ball into the hands of their playmakers with quick plays, quick passes, screens, reverses. So what they need to do is find something that works and stick to it. It needs to be a balance. Get John Brantley comfortable, but at the same time, don't go away from your playmakers and getting them the ball. The SEC East looks to be a relatively weak division again, with the West having all the power, so the Gators could sneak up into the championship game. Their defense was hit hard with the loss of Janoris Jenkins after continuous off-the-field issues. The new regime, headed by Will Muschamp, seemed to have enough and kicked Jenkins off the team. Florida has always been able to find playmakers and should be able to find somebody to fill that void. Number 22, the Virginia Tech Hokies from the Atlantic Coast Conference. Quarterback Tyrod Taylor won the Hokies a lot of games in 2010, but now that he's gone, all that pressure will fall on the shoulders of new quarterback Logan Thomas. Even though he is inexperienced, he has a lot of high expectations entering the 2011 season. He showed signs that he does have what it takes to lead the Hokies to another ACC championship during his brief moments on the field in 2010. The running game was hit hard with 3 of their top 4 rushers gone, including quarterback Tyrod Taylor, Ryan Williams, and Darren Evans. But that opens the door for running back David Wilson to truly show what he's made of and see if he's capable of carrying the load. Of those 4 rushers, he was definitely the most explosive. He did help out in the return game, but the Hokies will likely leave the rushing game to him and take him away from the special teams to avoid the risk of injuries. Again, the defense looks to be the strong point of the Hokies as they return 7 of their 11 starters, including future star cornerback Jaron Hosley. Number 21, the Texas Longhorns from the Big 12 Conference. The Longhorns made history in 2010, but for something they're not proud of. They became the first team in history to play in a BCS Bowl game one season, then not even make a bowl game the following season. The main problems for the Longhorns lie on the offensive side of the ball. 1. They need to find a solid, consistent starter at quarterback. There's an open competition in Austin between 4 players, led by returning starter Garrett Gilbert and the younger brother of former Texas great Colt McCoy, Case. Next, they need to establish a strong physical running attack. The offensive line in 2010 was built more for a zone blocking scheme, not a man blocking scheme. They need to pin their ears back, become more physical, and open the holes for incoming freshman Malcolm Brown, who's truly great in between the tackles. This is the main reason why Mack Brown lured in former Boise State offensive coordinator Brian Harsin to help evolve the offense. Not only evolve the offense, but find a solid starter at quarterback and establish a running game. The defense was solid in 2010, but couldn't make up for the slack of the offense. The defense does return 6 starters, but they lost a lot of starters, particularly in the secondary and the cornerback position. If the Longhorns can find a quarterback, establish a running game, they can find themselves right back in the mix for another Big 12 title. To recap the top 25 for the first segment, we have number 25 TCU, number 24 West Virginia, number 23 Florida, number 22 Virginia Tech, and number 21 Texas. Next up is segment 2, where we'll be breaking down teams rank 16 to 20.